Hello everybody, my name is Meher Alam. I am representing class 4 Central. Do you know what is matter? Today we are going to learn about matter. Matter is all living and non-living things around us is made of matter. Matter is any substance or thing which has mass and occupies space. All things around us such as chair, pencils, erasers, cupboards, water, air, plant, animal, and even human beings are matter. Our feelings and emotions like love, anger, friendship, happiness, sadness are not matter as they do not have mass and they do not occupy space. Objects that take up space and have mass are called matter. Everything around us is made up of matter. Matter is made up of very tiny particles called molecules. They are so small that you cannot even see them. Molecules of different things are different from one another. Molecules are made up of still smaller particles called atoms. There are about 100 kinds of atoms. These atoms join in different ways to produce different kinds of molecules. The atom can join to make millions of molecules, and that is why there are millions of substances around us. Thank you.
Good morning everyone. My name is Ritija Kundu. I am from class 4 Jasmine. Today I am going to show the experiment about matter occupies space and matter has mass. As we already know, matter is any substance or thing which has mass and occupies space. Let us get a better idea about this fact through some interesting experiments. Now here I have a balance with me, and now I am taking an empty glass. Now this empty glass approximately weighs 92 grams, and now I am pouring some water into the glass. Now the water weighs approximately 131 grams, and now I am adding some beads into the glass. Now the beads weighs approximately 31 grams. Now the glass weighs 92 grams and the water weighs 131 grams and the beads weighs 31 grams. In total the three of them weighs 254 grams. Now this experiment shows glass occupies space, water occupies space, and both beads and glass as well as water occupies space and have mass, which we just measured. And now I have completed the solid experiment. Now I move on to liquid. Now here also I have an empty glass with me, and now I am pouring some water into the glass. Now we can clearly see that the water is filled to the brim. Can I add more water? Let's see. Oh, we can clearly see that which is the excess water, it actually flows out. Now this glass has some capacity and only this much of water the glass can hold. If I add more water, the water will flows out and the water has taken the shape of the glass. Before we have done this experiment, the beads was taken the shape of the glass. Now in this experiment shows water occupies space, that means matter occupies space and have mass. And now let's take an example from gases. Here I have an empty bottle with me, which is exactly not empty because it's having air inside of this bottle. Now I will try to inflate this balloon. Now we can clearly see that I am trying to inflate this balloon, but I cannot inflate this balloon. Now what is the reason? On the other hand, if I try to inflate the balloon in an open, it easily get inflated. Now what is the difference between this balloon and this balloon? The reason is this balloon is getting inflated in an open which has lots and lots of space, and this balloon is getting inflated in an area which is packed with some amount of air, and that's why I cannot inflate this balloon. In this experiment shows us gases occupy space, and now let's demonstrate gases occupy space and have mass. And now I have taken this hanger because I don't have any balance at home, and now I have taken an inflated balloon and a deflated balloon. The balloon which has air inside and the balloon which does not have air inside. Now we can clearly see that the inflated balloon is weighing down and the deflated balloon is up. So though is not a proper balance, but we can still understand that the inflated balloon is bending down and the deflated balloon is not bent. Since I'm holding this hanger, I can easily make out that the balloon which has air inside is a little heavier than the balloon which does not have air at all. In this way, I have completed my experiment. Thank you and have a nice day.
Hello everyone, myself Sharna Malik from class 4 Sunflower. Today I am going to show you the differences of matters. Matter exists in 3 different states: solid, liquid and gas. You can hold this cube in your hand. But can you hold water in your hand? No, you can't. Now blow in your hand. You feel something on your hand. Can you see it and hold it? The cube, water and air all feel different. Step number 1. Now I am taking some marbles. These marbles have specific shape. It can be held in hand or in pot. These marbles, they have fixed shape and fixed volume. Step number 2. Now I will show you that liquids have no shape. At first, I will take a glass of water. Now I will transfer this water into a container. It takes the shape of the container. If we take 1 liter of water, it always remains 1 liter. It shows that liquids have no fixed shape but have a fixed volume. Step number 3. Now I am taking a piece of camphor in a bowl. When I burn it, it produces gas. The gas occupied by the glass. Now I close this glass by the lid. If I don't close the glass, the gas expands and will be spread in room. So it has no shape and no volume. It spread all around and occupy the full volume of the container. So the main differences of 3 states are: solids have fixed shape and fixed volume, liquids have no fixed shape but have a fixed volume, and gases have no volume and no shape. Thank you.
Good morning everybody. I am Shubhosri Bhaduri from class 4 Sunflower. Now I am going to do some experiments to see how matter can be changed from one form to another form. From solids to liquids, from liquids to solids, from liquids to gas, and from gas to liquids.
melting solids to liquids. Here I have two types of solids. I have butter and wax. One by one I am going to heat them up and we are going to observe how solid changes form and becomes liquid. Butter melts when heated. Butter starts melting. I have this bowl of boiling water and now I will put the bowl of wax into it. We can see that the wax is melting. We can see that the solids have melted. Butter and wax melts when heated. Ice melts at room temperature. Here I have one ice cube in this box and I will keep it here to see how it will melt at room temperature. You can see that the ice has melted. The solid has turned back into liquid. Water is in liquid form. Okay, let's keep this aside. Evaporation. Liquids to gas. We are now going to change liquids to gas. So I take some water and boil it. And we will observe how it converts into steam. Water evaporates when it becomes steam. Water evaporates when it becomes steam. You can see the water is boiling and bubbling and the steam rising from the pot. So actually, the water which is in liquid form is changing into gas. It's changing into steam. Liquid changes into gas. We can see the steam here rising from the pot. Now let's keep this aside. Freezing. Liquids to solid. We are now going to see how a liquid can turn into a solid. I have poured water in this box and I will put it in the freezer for some time and we will see how the water turns into ice. Now I will put this water into the freezer and we will wait for some time when it solidifies and turns into ice. Now water has turned into ice. You can see that the liquid form has turned into a solid form. This is the solid ice. Water has changed into solid form. Melted butter will turn into solid at room temperature. I have poured the liquid butter in this bowl. As it will cool down, it is going to solidify. So we will observe that liquid butter solidifies and turns into solid butter. The liquid butter have turned into solid butter. Liquid wax will turn into solid when it cools down. The wax cooled down and now it is a solid. We can see that the wax and the butter has hardened and turned into solid. Butter and wax becomes solid when kept at room temperature. Okay, let's keep this aside. Condensation, gas to liquid. I have placed this lid on the boiling water. Here you will see on the lid that there will be some small water droplets, which is an example of gas turning into liquid. Steam condenses to become water. Gas changes into liquid. You can see that the steam has converted back into liquid. I was holding the lid for a few seconds and you can see that the steam has converted back into water. Because the temperature of the lid was cooler than the temperature of the steam, when the steam hit the lid, it converted back into water. The gas turned back into water because the temperature changed back to a cooler temperature. If the temperature of this lid would not have been the same as the temperature of the steam, it would not have been converted. Okay, my experiment on how matter can be changed has finished. Thank you.
Good morning everyone. I am Vidikta Kunju from class 4 Jasmine. Today I am going to show what is physical change and chemical change. So let's start. Before starting, let us know the difference between physical change and chemical change. In physical change, no new substance is formed. But in chemical change, new substance is formed. The second difference is between physical change and chemical change. Physical change is reversible, but chemical change is irreversible. This is sand and this is water. So, as we know, physical change is no new substance is formed. So, if we mix sand with water, no new substance is formed. We know in chemical change, new substance is formed. So, candle is a hydrocarbon. After burning this candle, it gives us CO2 and water vapor. Candle is an interesting example of where both physical change and chemical change are taking place. So, melting of wax is physical change and burning of candle is chemical change, which you can see here. Thank you.
Hi everyone. Good morning. I am Adrija Datta. I study in Lord School Shalda in class 4 Jasmine. Today I am going to show you the difference between solute, solvent and solution. Do you know what are solute, solvent and solution? I will tell you. Solute. The solid which gets dissolved in liquid is called solute. For example, salt, sugar, etc. Solvent. The liquid in which the solute gets dissolved is called solvent. For example, water, milk, juice, etc. Solution. When the solute gets dissolved in solvent, it makes a solution. So, let's get started the experiment. This is a bowl of salt. It is solute. This is a glass of water. It is solvent. Now I am taking 1 teaspoon of salt. And put it into the water and mix well.
observe, we would find that the salt mixes completely with water and no longer visible. It has become a solution.